I, unlike most people, actually enjoyed the Green Lantern movie. And ironically, I also got the Green Lantern, constructing the Green Lantern from page to screen. Some people have asked, it cost like $200 million to make, where did the money go? A lot of went to things like miniatures. When you go through this book, you see miniatures of almost everything, as well as some of the special effects of some of the characters. Ironically, they probably could have saved money had they had not shown the Green Lantern Corps and made it more about Hal in the Ring. But if you wouldn't have shown the Corps, some fans would have been pissed that you didn't show the Corps. High Green Lantern, not the Corps. But the weird thing is, when you watch the movie, the characters that they spent a lot of time on get like seconds on screen. Actually, go over a couple of pages real quick. As well as some of the work for the miniatures, some of the makeup was actually done really, really well. You get full-size props. And I'll be honest, when you look at, this is like the early concept of Tomar-Re. And that looks really, really good. And it does. It looks disturbingly lifelike, from the way they did the eyes, from the way the skin looks. They did some fantastic work from the CGI, from the way it looks here in the book. Maybe some other Corps members. That's the initial shot of Kilowog. I should be getting really close to that. I use something kind of small to bookmark pages so it doesn't... Even the great shots of Remy Hall. I don't even recall seeing Remy Hall that much inside the movie. But they did a fantastic job when it came to rendering her. As well as a character that they made specifically for the movie. They don't do anything with. However, if you would have read some of the prequel stuff, the prequel comics, they do have a small mention of her. Like with this. That's a nice looking Salak. I don't really recall seeing these characters have that much in the way of screen time. But you look through this and they've got some fantastic looking still shots of these characters. Shot that's got just about everybody, Hanu, Boudica. They did a really fantastic job on some of these things, as well as they gave all the Guardians names. Which I thought was weird because Guardians weren't supposed to have names. But I guess it's okay in the movie. They also show bits and pieces of storyboards that never actually made it into the movie. Which I thought was kind of weird. They introduced the Yellow Ring and Hal goes, Sesper, you shouldn't use that. They'd storyboard a fight between Sesper with the Yellow Ring and Hal in the Citadel. It didn't actually happen. They also storyboarded the ending fight sequence, ironically, not just having it be Hal Jordan, but instead Hal Jordan at the same time as Kilowog, Sinestro, and Tomar-Re all battling against Parallax. You see, you kind of go, wow, that would have been sick to have seen 4 of them. And then some of the different sequences where they're talking about, when they first started doing the Hector Hammond character, they wanted to have yellow light emanating from the inside of the face and radiating even more. So they did lots of work on taking still shots of Peter Sarsgaard's face and actually superimposing some of the yellowness through the inside, bleeding forward, as well as a pretty decent still shot of Parallax. And ironically, some of the initial ideas of Parallax, people called the giant, brown turd cloud, it was actually going to be all of the souls that Parallax had absorbed in like a giant flow. And some of the shots they've got where they actually show, a closer rendered version of what it looks like, it looks really, really impressive. But the fact that initially you were going to have multiple lanterns fighting Parallax on Earth would have been fantastic. As well as, every single lantern having their own independent sort of energy beams. And then at the very, very end, they actually have a bit of a crew call. And ironically, Mark Strong used his real name. Some people use their real names. However, one person went by the name Harold Jordan. Yes. So if you don't actually know, during the filming of the movie, even says the hotel they stayed at, they do actually go through that Ryan Reynolds called himself Hal Jordan or Harold Jordan while he was filming the movie. Now, if you enjoyed the movie, this is a great companion piece. If you thought the movie was lacking, if you read the companion piece, you'll realize a lot of what they wanted to actually try to accomplish, they did a pretty good job with doing. However, they try to take the following reference pieces: Hal Jordan's like Silver Age origin, Jeff Johns' Secret origin, as well as Emerald Dawn. So they try to combine like multiple styles of the origin to try to make one cohesive version that would encompass as much as they possibly could with the Green Lantern mythology and the mythos. And to try to do it all in a short amount of time. It's a ridiculous high concept. When you read through that, you kind of, they really did seem to have a pretty good idea of what to do. It just didn't seem to work that well when it came to being on screen. That being said, if you like the movie, the book is a fantastic companion piece.